Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into the jargon of tailored suit fabrics to finally demystify the famous super grading system. If you've ever flipped through a tailor swatchbook, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen these numbers everywhere. Well, today, we are going to decode exactly what they mean for your wardrobe.
So let's start by addressing the classic dilemma we've all faced. You're checking out fabric samples and you notice the price tags just totally skyrocket the higher that super number goes. It's so easy to just assume, hey, higher number, obviously a better suit. But is a super 180s actually superior to a super 120s? Well, the answer is a lot more complex and honestly a lot more fascinating than a simple yes or no.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll hit the super number myth, dive into the science of microns, look at the durability trade-off, go beyond the super number, and finally figure out how to choose your perfect suit. Let's jump in. Section 1, the super number myth. We really need to challenge this pervasive misconception that a higher number on the label automatically guarantees a flawless, superior garment. To get why this myth even exists, we gotta look back at the history of worsted wool. It's a pretty amazing timeline. It all kicks off way back in 1789 with the introduction of exceptional Spanish merino sheep. Fast forward to the 1800s, and the English city of Bradford actually created a whole system to measure how fine this wool was. What blows my mind is how our baseline for luxury has shifted over time. In the 1960s, a super 80s wool was considered the absolute elite. Today, thanks to modern milling tech regulated by the International Wool Textile Organization, we're seeing numbers skyrocket to super 180s and well beyond.
Moving right along to Section 2, the science of microns.
Okay, so let's shrink things down to the microscopic level for a second. Historically, wool experts judged quality by estimating how many hanks, some people call them skeins, you could spin from just one single pound of raw, cleaned wool. And a hank equals exactly 560 yards. By the way, fun fact, that little S you see in super 100s, it originally stood for skein. So let's do the math here, because it's wild. A super 120s rating means you can spin 120 hanks from a single pound of wool. Multiply 120 by 560 yards, and you get an unbelievable 67,200 yards of yarn from 1 pound. Think about that. That's over 38 miles of yarn from a single pound of material. You can literally only achieve that kind of astonishing length if the individual fibers are incredibly, incredibly fine. To make that abstract math a bit more real for you, let's compare it to something we all know. The finest of these fibers is measured in microns, which is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. Now, a standard human hair sits somewhere between 50 and 100 microns thick. A super 120s wool fiber, it's just 17.75 microns thick. It's a tiny fraction of the width of a human hair. And the higher that super number goes, the smaller that micron diameter gets.
All right, Section 3, the durability trade-off.
Now here is where the marketing myth totally crashes into reality. There is a major hidden catch when you trade up for that microscopic fineness. You sacrifice everyday utility. It's basically a showdown between the resilient daily workhorse and this ultra-delicate luxury fabric. See, a super 110 suit uses slightly thicker fibers, and because they're thicker, they're tough. They bounce back from wrinkles and they handle abrasion at the elbows and knees. It's your durable workhorse. A super 180s, however, it feels buttery soft. Honestly, almost like silk. It flows and drapes so beautifully. But because the fiber is so insanely thin, the yarn itself is weaker. It's fragile, it wears out way faster under friction, and man, it wrinkles much more easily. Ultimately, the physical thickness dictates how the fabric actually performs out in the real world. Take the super 100s to 120s tier, for example. That is your daily driver, offering awesome durability and high wrinkle resistance. Step it up to the 140s and 160s, and you hit this really nice sweet spot of balanced luxury with a subtle sheen. But once you push into the 180s and beyond, dipping down below 15 microns, you're basically dealing with weightless drape that is incredibly delicate. We're talking collector-level tailoring here. Trust me, you would not want to sit on a 6-hour flight wearing a super 200 suit.
Which brings us to Section 4, beyond the super number.
Buying a suit based solely on a massive super number is kind of like buying a car based solely on its top speed. Fiber thickness is just one piece of the puzzle. The true quality of merino wool actually relies on 4 different factors. Yes, you have the fiber diameter, which is your super number, but you also absolutely need fiber length, strength, and honestly, probably the biggest one, elasticity. Elasticity is the magic that allows a good suit to recover and let its wrinkles fall out naturally overnight while it's just hanging in your closet. You could have a fabric with a huge super number, but if it lacks elasticity and strength, it's going to perform incredibly poorly. And let's not forget, someone actually has to turn that raw fiber into cloth. This whole step-by-step process proves that the world-class craftsmanship of the mill matters just as much as the raw wool itself. We're talking about everything from the careful washing and spinning to the intricate weaving and the crazy rigorous centimeter-by-centimeter human inspection from misweaves, right down to the unhurried finishing process. Let me put it this way. A beautifully milled Super 120s from a heritage mill in England or Italy, it will drastically outperform and outshine a poorly milled Super 150s from a subpar factory every single time.
Finally, let's wrap this up with Section 5, choosing your perfect suit.
Okay, so how do you actually use this info? Keep this little buyer's cheat sheet in mind so you can perfectly match the fabric grade to your specific lifestyle. If you're doing daily commutes, traveling a lot for business, or just sitting at a desk all day, you absolutely want the resilience of a Super 100s to 130s. If you're prepping for big executive board meetings or a wedding, somewhere you want elevated elegance but still need to move around comfortably, look at the 140s to 160s. And save the Super 180s and above for the red carpets, galas, and single events where pure, delicate luxury is the only goal.
Oh, and one quick, absolutely crucial warning to keep in mind. Avoid synthetic blends like the plague. A truly high-quality suit needs to be 100% pure wool. Blending wool with polyester or other synthetics entirely undermines the performance. Synthetics trap your body heat, they completely lack that beautiful fluid drape, and over time, through wear and dry cleaning, they develop this cheap, unflattering shine. For sure, stick to pure wool to maintain a polished, professional image.
So, to bring it all together, true elegance isn't just about showing off the highest number on a label. It's all about context and utility. The next time you put on a suit or head to the tailor, take a closer look at that tag. Ask yourself, are you actually wearing the right tool for the job, or did you just buy into the myth?